he's got a 77 Volkswagen Rabbit or Bug that they drive on weekends. He called me up and he said, it won't start. I said, oh, it'll be over.
Yep.
So I took a piece of paper and a screwdriver. He goes, what are you going to do with that? I said, I'm going to get this car started.
Yeah.
I popped the distributor cap, cleaned the points, put the cap on, and fired right up. I said, there's only 2 guys in town that know that. I'm one of them. The other one retired.
David's not here anymore.
Okay, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Joining us today at the table are Eric and Andy Floyd from Floyd Imports.
Yep.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Sure.
We
Thank you
really
for coming.
appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, for sure.
it's cool.
Eric, obviously, you and I go back, 50 years?
Yeah, close to it.
Wow.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Something like that.
So you look young.
I started working for your dad in 1978.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, what years were you in high school?
I would have been a freshman in high school that year.
Yeah.
I graduated high school in 1981. And so,
Yeah.
me and my brothers were out there running around the Volkswagen Porsche Audi dealership under your feet all those years, being a pain in the you-know-what to you and your brother, David.
Three little train wrecks running around.
Yes, for sure we
Well,
were.
when you and I think it was Mike took Doug and locked him in the trunk of the car.
Yes, we did that as well. Yes.
Yeah, the poor guy. It was dead of the summer.
love
Didn't
it.
tell nobody.
Right. Well,
He's out there beating her.
He had upset us the night before, so we were it was
I
payback.
figured. Yeah, I figured that.
He had no cell phones. He couldn't call mom for help. So we're like,
They
we'll
probably
put
didn't
him in the trunk and leave him there for the day.
They didn't have those emergency releases in the trunk.
No,
They-
not back in the
yeah,
70s.
you were just stuck.
They did not.
And Howard comes walking out there. And, oh my God! You think your voice is loud? Oh. He was not happy. You guys scattered like roaches. Man.
Yeah, well, of course we did.
Yeah,
We
your
were
mom
scared
is
to death. Was a saint.
Harriet is
My
a
mom
saint.
was
Yeah.
and is a saint.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Wonderful woman.
Yeah, so I know we've talked before off air. So Eric and his brother David are really just a few years older than me and my brothers, and were mechanics for my dad at Hembrough Volkswagen Porsche Audi,
That's
starting
awesome.
in 1978, and I think Dad sold that business and. See, he died in 1987, so late 86, sold it to the Green family, and then somewhere along the line after that transition, you guys decided to go out on your own because, and I will say this because my dad used to always say it, man, those Floyd boys, he used to call you the Floyd boys. The Floyd boys are the best of the best.
I love it.
At working on all these foreign vehicles, and you
Howard's
tell the story from there.
So, Howard, I didn't know this until like 2 years ago. The guy that hired me, the service manager there, he came in and he said, we had a meeting. He was a service manager and then all the other guys, managers there. He said, I never told you this, but we had a meeting and Howard said, I'm just going to tell you guys one thing. There's only 2 guys in this place you don't touch. That's those Floyd boys.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Don't mess with them.
Yeah.
Leave them alone. Let them do their job.
Yep.
They're not going to bother anybody. They're the only ones back there that really give a shit. I was fun to say that.
No, that's all right. That's
you can
perfect.
say
That's
it.
real.
Yeah.
That's real life.
That's right.
So, and I thought, God, I hadn't heard that. I'd never heard that.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
and you just heard it from me because that's consistent with what he always said. He said,
So-
"Man, those Floyd boys are the best
And
that we could get."
We just didn't like the direction of the people that bought the business.
Yeah.
So me and Dave were like, man, we got to do something. Get out of here. I don't even care if they can't take my job away from me. I can always fix cars.
Right.
So I'm going to start this business. Me and Dave, we rented a place for, it was like $800 a month.
Yeah.
We had one lift, just
Yeah.
two bay. And we just started getting at it,
Yeah.
And all of our customers followed us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had
So you didn't really miss a beat then.
we had a
once you
month.
started. Yeah.
We had a month calendar. The first day we opened.
It's one of the
Is
rare,
that right? Scheduled out a month.
Out of the month.
that's one of the rare things. It's like you don't see that much anymore, where the mechanics at a dealership or whatever actually have a relationship with the customers.
Right.
You know, because Dad and Dave would actually go out and talk to the customers as opposed to they didn't like the service writers. So they'd skip the service writers and go out there
Come
and
back
talk to
and
the
talk to
customers,
them.
and the customers would come in and ask specifically for them.
Sure.
Yeah.
So when they left, they took a bunch of customers with them because they trusted them already.
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
which
Absolutely.
You just don't see that much anymore.
Yeah,
as
well,
far
when you're
as that
spending
goes.
money to buy Porsches and Audis and
Right.
probably
Yeah.
today the BMWs and Mercedes and the
Yeah.
vehicles my dad in a dealership didn't sell,
Yeah.
you want good people working on them, right?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That people just want to be able to look you in the eye and
Yeah.
You know, and,
Yeah.
and there's a little bit in the dealerships where you got that separation.
Yeah.
And me and David kind of took that away. We started a business. We talked to the people, went back and worked on the cars. you
Right.
know?
Yep.
So I
Your
did that
relationships
for,
are everything, right?
Yeah, for 30 years I've been doing that. But
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
working
really
on
cool.
them as much because I got Andy to do that. So.
Yeah. So that would have been. So what year did you guys?
94.
94
Yeah.
started Floyd,
Yeah.
and that was, if I remember right, it was your first location, the one at Stevenson and 11th
Yes.
Street.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and then moved out west in.
Yeah.
It was January 2nd of 2017 is when we opened there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So we were there for what, almost 24 years.
Yeah.
But we added on, we built onto it.
Yeah.
We added 2 more bays. We hired another guy. Andy was working there full time. And then all the stuff with 11th Street hit.
Right. The expansion
And,
out
yeah,
there.
So
You know, they were going to take away one of our entrances.
we
Plus, they were going to shrink the size of the lot. And if anybody had been out to our place, you'd know how small it was in the first place. We didn't
Yeah.
have any parking. So there was just no way that we could function. We had the UPS drivers and the
Yeah, we had like
other
a-
guys saying, we're not going to be able to deliver stuff
Yeah.
to you guys because we need 2 entrances to get in and out, or at least somehow to get in and
Right.
out.
Yep.
Right.
And so the city kind of, you know,
yeah, we had to.
came to deal with us. And,
We knew about 5 years ahead of time that it was going to happen
Right.
yeah.
because they had the meetings. They got us all in there.
Right.
You guys are going to go.
Yeah.
So we bought that lot in Prairie Crossing, and then we're sitting there on it for 5 years, thinking, what did we buy this lot for?
Yeah.
You know, we're just throwing money in the wind.
Yeah.
But it was the best investment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Then we
Great,
had-
great location, right?
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
And then we
Oh,
started
yeah.
building, and
Yeah.
you know, I mean, our business is like it's at least tripled since we moved there.
Is
Yeah.
that right?
That's outstanding.
Well, you know, we have more
We were just
space.
so-
Yeah.
So
Bound
we were
up. We
so
didn't
com-
even
Yeah. Pretty landlocked
You
where
know,
you
after
were,
a while,
right?
Yeah.
you work at a place for so long, you just don't even realize you're closing in. It's
Yeah.
closing in on you.
That
Yeah.
is true.
You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta expand, or you're gonna die.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, if you don't try to advance, you go backwards.
Right.
Right.
So, and then that's where Andy's really come in. He's in the shop. He's taking care of all that stuff, and I can kind of just deal with the people now
Yeah.
and keep the business going.
Yeah,
things are going pretty good right now.
People
That's awesome.
love Dad. You know, the customers love Dad and love Dave. Obviously, he retired a year ago and hasn't come back, but
Yeah.
he's still out there enjoying life. But
I tried
you
to
know,
get him to come. He's like,
Yeah, Dad. You know, but people love coming in and talking to Dad, and
Yeah.
you know, he's going to be part of it. Even when he retires, I think he's probably going to come in, you know, once a week
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, or whenever he wants. I don't care. You know,
Well, I think
it'll
there's
be great.
something to
Yeah.
be said too for having mechanics that you can count on, that you trust, that you know have integrity, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think about our business over the years. You know, we dealt with the Billingsley family for many years. So if we had trucks break down on the weekends, they'd come in. You know, they'd come in to the shop because if our trucks are down, we're not making money.
Sure.
In
Yeah.
the middle of a
Yeah.
rainstorm and so on. And,
Right.
And then we had, from Nissan, John. Anyways, but it would not be uncommon for him if we were in the middle of what we call a big water run where we got like 150 calls and we have an extraction truck that's down. You know, he'll call his mechanic in on his motorcycle and run out to, you know, and get it back up and running.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Brad always talks about, and I suspect it's one of the secrets to your success. You're talking about relationships already. Customers love to be able to
Yeah.
look you eyeball to eyeball, have a
Right.
relationship with the people who are taking care of one of their prized possessions, right?
Yeah.
Their most valuable possessions. Is always talks about making promises and keeping promises.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, over there, I remember when I first moved, I was gone from Springfield for a lot of years. I moved back here in 2002, and one of the first things I heard about was Floyd Imports.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that David and Eric?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that the same guys? Is
Yeah.
that the Floyd
Yeah,
boys?
it's the Floyd boys.
But
Yeah.
your reputation for making promises and keeping
Yeah.
promises,
Yeah.
still to this day.
Yeah, me and David always said, you know, if you tell one lie, you got to tell 5 more.
Yeah.
Just get it
Man,
out.
Yeah.
Tell
well
the
said.
truth.
Tell the truth. Yep.
Get
You know.
it behind you. Move on. Move
Yeah,
forward.
you know, everybody makes mistakes. If a mistake happens, we always take care of it. You know, we try
And
not
people
to, for
appreciate-
that to ever happen. but
Right.
if it does, you know, you got to stand behind it.
Yeah.
So,
Do you have any other siblings in the business?
no, but my nephew, his grandson, is he just got out of college and from tech school.
Okay.
And he started with us full time,
Yeah, he's-
so he's 22, and he's going to be the future after me, hopefully.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Andy, you've been there, would you say, since 16?
Since I was 16.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
That's
I was
great.
washing cars out on the blacktop parking lot.
Yep.
Dad and Dave would come out and go, that doesn't look right. Do that again.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah,
so,
dads are always the
yeah,
hardest.
yeah. They were
Yes.
hard on me. But,
They are.
Yeah.
but it's gave me a little bit more of a work ethic than I ever really thought I was going to have. You
Sure.
know? And but yeah, I was running parts and
Yeah. That's
taking
cool.
people to work and hating life because I was 16, getting up at 7 to get to work by 7:30
Yep.
and driving people to work.
Yeah.
And now I get to work at before 7.
Right.
You know,
and
it's just-
loving every minute
yeah,
of it.
it's a different world. And
Yeah.
16-year-old me would be like, "You're crazy.
Yeah.
Man. What are you doing? It's too early."
Yeah, you remember that?
I
as
can
you were
relate to
your-
that. Yes, yes. Yeah, I always tell him the story about, we'd be doing raw sewage backups, and some of them are just terrible. You can't even
yeah.
imagine, And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, why in the world would anybody want to be in this business?
Sure.
And here we are,
right,
doing
right.
more sewage backups.
Yeah,
So now I
right.
get it.
We get
Yeah.
that in cars.
Yeah.
What are you guys living in this thing?
Right? You see it all, don't you?
Oh, I bet you do. I didn't
Yeah.
think about that.
Come on,
Yeah.
think about
Yeah.
what you're
Yeah.
doing here.
Right. Agreed.
Oh, Jesus.
How many
Bring it.
employees do you guys have?
There's
8.
8 of us.
8? Okay.
Yeah, 8 total now, and then Dad and I.
That's awesome.
So the changes have got to be, during your lifetime from 78, let's say, when you started working
Yeah.
for my dad to today in technology, when you open the hood of a vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's
It's got to be like, I know it is, night and day.
So if
Yeah,
this
yeah.
But
tells
the
you,
ongoing education and training has
Yeah.
got to be really significant, right? To
Yeah.
be able to take care of cars today
Yep.
compared to
so I
what
got
they
a-
used to be like.
I've got a customer. Well, he's my doctor anyway. He's got a 77 Volkswagen Rabbit or Bug that they
yeah.
drive on weekends. He called me up and he said, it won't start. I said, oh, it'll be over.
Yep.
So I took a piece of paper and a screwdriver. He goes, what are you going to do with that? So I'm going to get this car started.
Yeah.
I popped the distributor cap, cleaned the points, put the cap on, and fired right up. I said, there's only 2 guys in town that know that. I'm one of them, the other one retired.
David's not here anymore.
Okay, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
The technology is a little different than that.
So
now.
now the newer cars you're looking
Yeah.
at, and they, you plug into them, and everybody thinks, oh, it tells you what to do.
Yeah.
Right.
It gives you a roadmap.
Right.
Yeah,
It just tells you what
Yeah.
direction to head to.
for sure.
So
sure.
and then you got to figure out really what's going on with this thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot to them.
I can't imagine.
There's a way to go about it, I mean, when we pull a car in, somebody says, "Oh, well, it's running funny" or whatever. The check engine light's on. I mean, the first thing we do is plug in our scan tool and
Yep.
run the codes on all the modules, and then print them out. And, see what it is, and it gives us a direction to go into.
Sure.
Because we have to know what the car's doing.
Yep.
And all the levels and everything for us to be able to fix it properly. So
Sure.
that's kind of it's kind of how we start now.
Yeah.
Back in
Yeah.
the day, you just kind of look at it and say, well, is the timing on? Do I have a piece of paper and a
Yeah.
screwdriver to fix the points? That's a great story. And,
That is a great story, yeah.
And now you have to have
Yeah.
all these scan tools.
Yeah.
Or you're dead in the water.
So are most of the vehicles you guys work on, they're out of warranty, or do you work on warranty?
We don't do warranty.
warranty.
Don't do
Okay.
any warranty vehicle warranty
No,
work.
the
Okay.
dealers, they control that.
Okay.
When a car's still on a warranty, they have to take care of that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But
We can
yeah.
handle extended warranty stuff, but even that's kind of stuff we
So
try
we-
not to mess with too
And
much.
we don't see
Yeah.
the cars for 3 or 4 years, and then by then our
Yeah.
technology is catching up with what's going on out there.
Sure.
So if you got
Yeah.
like one car doing, you can get online and say, is anybody? Oh, I got 10 cars doing this,
Gotcha.
and this is
Yeah.
what kind of we think the fix is, and then you kind of,
Yeah.
everybody's kind of talking out there
Yeah,
nowadays.
that
Or
makes
used
sense.
to,
Yeah.
you just were kind of on your own.
You used to be on an island, yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just beat your head against the wall. But the cars weren't nearly as complicated either.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
computers, all computers now,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Or at least
Yeah.
all run by computers,
Yeah.
Oh,
controlled
yeah.
by
Yeah.
computers.
body modules everywhere. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
Is there
you
is there any maintenance or repair work on electric vehicles, or is it too new to?
too new for
It's
us.
too
really.
new.
Is it?
Yeah,
to know?
I mean, there
Yeah.
are, they still have, brakes and tires. We've done tires on a lot of them. They still have window regulators and air filters, and
Sure.
they do have some sort of oil and, stuff like that. A lot of them still have coolant to cool the battery.
Okay.
So eventually down the road, there will be maintenance for those.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So in the future, but we're still probably talking, 20 years before it's something that we're going to have to see all the time.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
know, there's a lot of them out there, but they're still making internal combustion engines that,
Yeah.
are
And these
more and more
manufacturers
efficient.
that are making these electric cars, they want to see them. They don't want them going somewhere else. They want to know
Yeah.
what's going on with these
Yeah.
cars because
Yeah,
They
it's
want to
now
see them
it's-
internally so they can
it's
tweak
so
them and
new
fine tune
that
them.
they
It's
don't
all
want
fairly new,
not to
yeah.
know what's going
Yeah.
on with these things.
Yeah.
It is.
Do you have, speaking of dealers and manufacturers, do you have a lot of dealers? Do you have much work referred to you by dealers or mainly word of mouth from customer to customer? I mean, I know that's huge in this town because word of mouth is huge in Springfield.
A lot of the
right, in
dealers
Central
around
Illinois.
us send their, their import stuff to us.
Yeah. Most 90%'s all just people live in town, you know, whatever. They come to us, but we get we're around Landmark and Friendly and all that, so they send all their a lot of their import vehicles over to us if they just can't handle it or don't have the time for it. So,
but the move
we'll
was
take care
great
of
for
it.
us because we got Chatham right there.
Right.
Yeah.
And everything that's going on around us, it's easy in and out.
Yes.
Yeah,
Where
it is
where
easy
we-
access.
Where we
Oh,
were, it was so hard to get in and out of that place.
Yeah.
Like I said, you don't realize sometimes you're just getting locked down.
Yeah.
right.
You know?
So in our business, we have highs and lows and ups and downs, because our business is disaster related, and oftentimes there aren't disasters. So
Right.
it can be feast or famine. How about,
Yeah.
is your business pretty consistent?
Yeah, there's a few months a year that kind of are a little bit less, like January, February. People spent all their money on Christmas presents, and
Right.
New Year's Eve.
Put the repairs off.
Right. So it's like, maybe I'll wait till tax return comes
Right.
around, and
I
then.
gotcha.
But yeah, those 2 months, we use those to kind of catch up on the big jobs we got sitting around.
Gotcha.
So yeah, but mostly we stay pretty even. The summer's the busiest.
Yeah.
Everybody comes back from college, and
Sure.
parents haven't seen the car for a year.
Yeah, August is
You know,
just going to be like this.
The
because
tires are falling off.
Yeah.
So.
Get this kid out of town, fix that car. I want to go back to school.
I remember last summer
Get him
when
out
Hannah
of
came
there.
home from school and
Yeah.
she's like, "Dad, this thing's not running great. It's kind of lunging." When I got in and drove it, I was like, "You do not need to be driving this thing. It feels like the wheels are about to." So we need to. I said, "Hey, now let's get this thing into the Floyds." And I'm like, "Okay, probably the brakes, road, Next thing I know, I had like a $2,000 bill. I was like, well, Eric calls and man, this thing needs everything. I was like, well, that's what you get with a 20-year-old daughter driving a vehicle and has no idea what she's doing to it. So I didn't think about that, but summers probably do.
Yeah.
That's when we see our
And now
biggest
it runs
peaks.
great. I ask her every time I talk to her, and I was like, how's the car?
Yeah.
Let's get it before like at 300 or 400 instead of $2,000.
Yeah, right.
Because they won't let you know until something's flashing
Yes,
at them or
exactly.
wheels falling off.
Yes, right.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right. Yeah. We can always tell when the kids are back from, Thanksgiving break or
Yeah.
Christmas or
Yeah.
That's
or
really
whatever it
interesting.
is, yeah.
That much of a difference.
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
see
yeah.
it.
And people say, well, my daughter's coming into town with her car and we need to get it in. So that's,
Just look it over.
it really does change things
Make
for
sure
sure.
she can go back to school.
Yeah, I think that's us. I think it needs brakes. Can you just check the whole thing out?
Yeah,
Just get her
exactly.
out here.
What? So any and all foreign
Pretty much.
makes?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we don't mess with Jaguars much. There's a few other ones, but yeah, most all of them anymore. Yeah. A lot of
Any
them are the
domestic
same.
vehicles you ever work on?
We work on a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can
Like
do
I said,
basic stuff.
somebody's got 3 imports and he's got a truck, he needs to put a set of brakes on it. Heck yeah.
Yeah. Of
You
course.
know, I'm
do
not
it.
going to make you mad at me.
Hey, right. I want your other three.
Yeah, we'll take it. That makes
I
sense.
want to take care of this guy. You know?
Right. We gotta take care of our
Yeah.
loyal customers
Yeah.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
awesome.
how we handle that most of the time.
Yeah.
We try to stay loyal to them too. you know?
Yeah, that's great. Is there any make or model of vehicle that's just a pain in the what
great
to work
question.
Mini Coopers.
on? Is that right?
Really?
They're
Yeah.
terrible.
Oh,
Yeah. They're one of the worst vehicles out there. It's crazy.
that's good to know.
Yeah, they're just they'll have 30, 40, 50,000 miles on them and just they'll need a clutch or they'll need a water pump or and everything on those is thousands of dollars.
Is that right?
Really?
Yeah.
I call them bleeders.
Bleeders.
They're either
You call
leaking
them what?
something or they're bleeding the folks out of their money.
I like it. I like it.
They're leaking and they're
Leaking, leaking and bleeding.
you to death.
Leaking and bleeding.
I've had people say, "Hey, should I buy a Mini Cooper?" No.
No.
2 weeks later, they're driving their Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Like,
well,
what
you
I
asked
told
for it.
you.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some
Be your
people
best
like
customer.
some people like to punish themselves, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, that's funny.
Just to do a clutch on one of those is about $3,500.
Is
What?
that right? Wow.
Yeah, you got to tear the whole front end off, basically almost drop the whole engine to do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we try to tell people that, it's weird because everybody's like, well, they're BMWs, right? And I'm like, well, they're not made like a BMW.
Right, yeah.
They're just not. They're not the same. They're
Yeah.
a lot of plastic.
Is it a
lot of
fair
pot
question?
metal.
You said they're not made like a BMW to say
Yeah.
what's the best made foreign car out there.
Yeah, good
And if
Toyota.
you
That
can't
That is a good
answer it,
question.
It's got to be Toyota.
Toyota's probably the most
Yeah.
reliable.
Boy, I'll tell you,
go
we've
forever,
had-
right?
we
How many
had-
Sequoias you had that went
had
300?
three. had 3 at, and the last one had like 250 on it.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
probably.
But I mean, the only thing we did to I mean, I drove those, but the only thing I did to them was change the tires.
Yeah.
When they needed, and change the oil. The end.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
one maintenance problem.
Yeah.
And then we bought Toyota Avalons. I mean, all the sales vehicles were always Toyotas. I mean, those things, they just run like
yeah.
the top. Yeah.
We get Prius in that have like 400, 500,000 miles on them. Don't have any oil in them. Literally, I'll drop the drain plug, and you might get a half a cup out of it.
Really?
They drive the damn thing in like that.
is
No
awesome.
oil light on. They're still running.
Yeah.
I
agree.
actually did a video of it one day because one of my friends who worked at Toyota, he's like, "No, that can't be true."
Yeah.
So I was like, "All right, here's a video. I'm taking the drain plug out
Yeah.
of this thing, and you're gonna see how much oil comes out. And it's a couple drops.
You're right.
Yeah.
No
And they were
kidding.
like, they didn't drive that in. I was like, yeah, he
Yeah.
drove it in, and
Yep.
put oil in it, and
Yeah.
he drove it back out. I
Yeah.
mean, they were back, it's still driving it, as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned. Yeah.
Totally, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's just, they're made
Yeah.
different. The hybrid system on those Prius save the engine a lot.
Yeah,
So,
that's great.
yeah.
Any challenges for you guys? Sometimes I always think running a small business in the state of Illinois is not the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
With
I don't know. People,
people, yeah,
certain people can be very challenging.
sure.
Yeah.
But 90% of our clientele is they've known us for so long that, and they trust us and
Yeah.
they're good. But man, some people can be difficult. We all know that.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
When you're in the service
Yes.
industry, you just.
Yep.
But as far as cars go, I don't know. What do you think, Andy? The challenging. I think the technology
Yeah.
is keeping up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
I
though
think
we
that's-
can-
I
Right.
think
And
that's
it's
the biggest
expensive,
part.
right? It's more and more
Yes.
expensive
Yeah.
to stay up with it, I
Yeah.
suspect.
The new diagnostic scanner we got from Autel, I think it was close to 10 grand. And that's something which is nice. It's always updated, so it's nice. But in a couple of years, 3 years, I'll probably have to get another
Sure.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have 3 scanners.
Sure.
So, between that and just trying to, me and a couple of the young guys were always just researching ourselves, in our free time.
Yep.
We learning more about some of the new hybrid systems and stuff like that. So, so that we can be prepared for what's coming in.
Right.
Or if we have something there that we think we're going to need to learn, that's what we start doing.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean that's mostly the challenge for
Sure.
me. I mean, I'm a problem solver by nature.
Right.
I was born that way, and that's how I've always.
You didn't
been.
have much of a choice,
I
did you?
enjoy it. Yeah,
Growing up in this guy's house.
I've been trying to.
That's what you're doing all your
I've been trying to solve this problem for 28 years.
Hey,
with
man.
this
You can
shop.
blame those on my dad.
Right?
That's great.
Yeah, but I mean, I was kind of thrown to the wolves because Dad and Dave didn't have time to really figure out how to work, all the computer systems and learn all that stuff. And so I kind of taught myself, getting different scanners and learn how to code modules and doing all that, at 21, 22,
Yeah.
So now
And
he's,
I just keep doing it.
he's paying me
So,
back now
Yeah.
because he brings in this new computer system. I'm like, I like the old one.
Yeah.
Right.
What are you doing?
What happened to that one?
Oh no, we're gonna do the shop
Nah.
monkey. This is better. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, where do I?
Yeah.
No, we
Yeah,
just
what do I do?
What am I doing here? I'm too old for this.
I just
What are you
figured this
doing
other
to
one
me?
out.
Right. David retired, and him and Dad always loved to have our schedule on a book, a schedule book, appointment book.
Nothing wrong with that.
And I was like, we're not doing that anymore. Our we can put it in there, and the new program that we have, it sends people reminders and all that. And people like that kind of stuff. So
Oh, yeah. Yep.
we switched to that, and he's like, I think you're trying to force me into early retirement or
Is
something.
it, so I'm curious, is that an industry specific software?
Yes.
Yes.
It is. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's specifically
smooth.
for automotive repair.
Now that I've gotten used to it,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I like this. But I
Yeah.
had my little notebook I was writing.
Right. Yeah. Well, I asked because we just implemented a new scheduling software here called
Yeah.
Jobber.
Okay,
And
yeah.
for
I've heard of
it's
Jobber. Yeah.
broad for service industries.
Sure.
But,
Yeah.
anytime you
Yeah.
implement something new and
Yeah.
change, man.
What's great about this
painful.
one
It is, isn't it?
is we can, if the car's never been to our shop, we can just look out at the car and get the license plate number off of it, and we can type that in the computer. It tells us everything about that car.
Oh, really?
It'll tell us the service history. It tells us the VIN number.
Holy
It won't tell us
Just
who owns it or anything specific like that.
Loads
but
it in.
we
Really?
can load that in and add the customer, and we go from there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Back in the day, we had to type in you know, the VIN or whatever, and then look
I'm
it up
still
after
typing
that.
in the VIN.
That's all right. And what's cool about
There's still a place for guys like us.
Yeah, that's right. I'm right with you.
Man's got to know his limitations.
Right.
You know, my favorite Clint Eastwood line.
That's great.
What's nice too, and is our guys in the back, they can use either their phone or we got them iPads, and they can scan the VIN or they can scan the license plate, and it pulls up everything that they're supposed to do to it. It can add notes to it, and we already have it up front. Stuff we can send to the customer, text back and forth with the customer. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, I love it, and our customers really like. Hey, I really like that. We had she's about 90 years old. Lady came in, she's like, I really like that text, reminded me that I got an appointment. And I said, Dad, see, you didn't think anybody'd like this stuff. You know? I said, this 90-year-old lady's way ahead of you, man.
I like it.
It don't take much.
She's texting it back. Yeah, I'll take a car wash. You know,
I love
So-
it. Yep.
You asked about challenges. Any like do you guys have? I bet you have a ton of regulation, right? That you have to meet certain things in the state of Illinois, or no regulatory
really.
challenges.
Not a whole lot, really.
Not
No.
necessarily.
Yeah, because
I mean,
there's no testing and
Yeah, just a lot of stuff like if we use refrigerant for AC machines, we have to be certified for that. And when we built the building, we did like the oil separators and all that for
For
it.
disposal of
Sure,
oil,
of oil,
filters,
yep.
tires,
Yep.
all those kinds of
Exactly,
things.
yeah. And we have all of that set up, and it's tested every year or cleaned out every year. So I mean that's about it, really.
That's nice.
that was probably the biggest challenge of the 30 years of being in business was we were keeping the old place open, building the new shop.
Mm-hmm.
So David was there and I was at the new place, and it was just every day I had to be there because you're like, no, we're supposed to have plugins over here.
Yeah.
No, we got to have water over here. No,
Right.
it's on the plans.
Yeah.
Every day it was
Sure.
a fire to put out.
Yep.
So I didn't sleep for like
Yeah.
6
Yeah.
months. So I'll tell you a quick story, then I'll bore you. But
You don't sleep now.
I know we were going to open up January 2nd, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So on December 29th, we got the fire chief there, we got the city guy there, we got the electrical guy there, we got all the city guys in there, and I've got Jim's phone number on my phone.
The mayor.
The mayor.
Jim Link, yeah.
Yeah, he called me every morning. How's it going? Well, I've got this going on. Anyway, they're all standing there like, well, the fire extinguisher needs to come down 3 inches, and the water's not on long enough. And then that fire chief, David said, you know what? January 2nd, 7:30 in the morning, we're opening this place.
Yeah.
We don't care what you guys say.
Yeah.
So
That was David.
The
I
fire
love it.
chief said, wait a minute, aren't you guys the ones that got kicked out of on Stevenson there? And he goes, yeah. And he looked at all the other guys. He goes, you guys really want to be in the paper for not letting these guys open
Yeah,
up
no
when we
kidding.
threw them out?
I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah.
They just said,
I mean,
we're just going to give you a 30-day. We'll come back in 30 days. Open up your place.
Give you an exemption for 30.
Yeah.
I like it.
Funniest part of the story is they never came back. We never saw them again.
Never saw them.
Yeah, everything must have
Unbelievable.
passed.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
love
The fire extinguisher was up three
That's
inches
unbelievable.
too high. We had to
Yeah.
lower them.
Unbelievable.
Weird
That's
stuff.
kind of-
I'll wear my high heels.
Yeah.
Or take them off. Whatever it takes to get
I said,
to
you
it.
think that guy that's ripping that off the wall is going to care how high
Right,
it is?
exactly.
He's going to put the fire out.
Yeah. Yeah. Pull the pin.
I love it.
Yeah.
Squeeze the trigger, right?
So, in the last year, what's the oldest car that's come into your shop?
Oh, we got a 60 Carmen Ghia in there right now.
Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You remember those Carmen
I
Ghia,
don't.
old
I know.
Volkswagen Carmen Ghia?
Yeah.
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 Oh,
This
pretty
one's
cool.
really cool. It's
Good shape.
It's been all restored and everything.
brand new.
Yeah, it's sweet.
What year is it?
1960.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's bright
Convertible?
yellow.
Nope, it's
No.
hard top.
Hard
Yeah,
time.
it's on our Facebook page right now. My wife posted that today.
try to sell
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
to
we're
look
trying
at
to
it.
sell it.
Yeah.
It's been we bought it
They're
from a
cool
customer.
little
and-
cars.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, and you're selling cars now, too.
Oh,
correct?
yeah.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we started. So when we built the building, we kind of thought eventually that might end up happening. Where we get to a point where we could get a dealer's license and start selling used cars. Mm-hmm. So over the last 6 months, we went through all the paperwork and. They go through all the classes and stuff. It's amazing the hoops they make you jump through to get this dealer's license. It's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Yep.
So finally got all that done, all the insurance done. So I think it was in April or May a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Finally got that done. So basically what we're doing is we're trying to buy cars from our customers that we've known for a long time,
Yeah.
that we've worked on for a long time. If they're trying to get a new vehicle and don't want to trade it in, they're not getting the trade that they want. So we'll try to buy it from them and
like
then fix up whatever it needs.
Great
you know?
plan. You know
Yeah.
what work's been done on it, right?
And
you
if
know
I'm
the
if
vehicles.
I'm a
Right.
customer, I'd
Yeah.
like to know that.
Yeah, we're trying
Yeah.
to focus on, we get so many people coming in and saying, God, I need a kid car. I just need a $10,000 car.
10,000, yeah.
Just to get him the first 2 years, you're going to run into something, sooner or later.
Yep.
Usually they bang them up pretty good,
We have one we say she drives by Braille. Every corner of the car's got dents in it. She drives by Braille.
Yeah. We've seen those cars. Yeah. Parents say, we're passing on to our kid, and it comes back and it goes, it doesn't look like it did when you gave it to him.
That's great.
But we're trying to do to the cars that we get, if we know, like there's certain vehicles we know get certain things or have certain problems.
Right.
So like a Volkswagen Jetta, the new 1.8, the water pumps always go bad on them. The coil packs go bad. The injectors go bad. Spark plugs, normal stuff like that. And then we always do brakes and tires. So if we buy one of those cars, we do all of that stuff because we don't want to sell a car to somebody and then they come back in 2 months and say it needs a water pump and it's $1,000.
You just do it.
Before it ever
we
do
do
it.
it.
That way,
awesome.
hopefully we don't see them for a year.
This is great to know.
Yeah, that is. That's
We
great.
don't see them for a year maybe. They come back in for an oil change and that's it. And we make sure all the tires and everything are good because we've been doing the same thing for our friends and family for years. So why wouldn't we do it?
That's
the
awesome.
other
Yeah,
way?
that's really good.
Makes
I love
sense.
that.
Yeah. It costs us more money, and it takes away some of the profit, but that's not really what it's about, right?
Yeah, right.
We're trying to get somebody a good car, and then they're going to bring it back to us anyway, maybe bring other people to us because of it. So,
customers.
Do you guys drive foreign import cars?
Great question.
What kind do you guys drive?
I've got a couple cars.
And he's got more damn cars.
I might have a couple. I've got.
Tell us about all 10.
Exactly.
Well, my wife would say there's 10, but there's only 3 or 4. No, I've got an Audi TTS, a little 2-door red thing, and then I got a Golf R, Volkswagen Golf R, and then I actually have a Tesla Model 3.
Oh, cool.
And then I got a Cybertruck too. So I got 2 Teslas.
Yeah, nice.
I guess I should say. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
So do they still make the Golf?
Yeah. Yep.
God.
It's the Golf R. So
Golf R.
It's a
cool
four-wheel drive. And it's the sport version of the Golf, basically. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
It's a cool
I've always
car.
been a German guy. My wife drives a Q8, an Audi,
Yeah.
and I just recently bought a 911.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I'm going to turn 70, man. I'm going to have
I like it.
my birthday party.
Yeah, that's
present.
I love it. What year?
Brand new.
Brand new.
Actually,
Good
me and
for you.
Andy ordered it, and then it came in, May?
Yeah.
And Andy
Yep.
was going to be like partners, but I took it over.
Yeah.
It's mine.
It's yours.
Yeah, it was going to be us. And it's like,
I've driven this.
No longer us.
Yeah, I've driven this thing one time. I think it's yours.
Does it get up and go? Is it fun to drive?
Yeah,
I
it's a
bet
lot of
it
fun.
flies.
Yeah. That's
It's
fun.
really a cool car. It's something he's wanted for forever, so he deserves it.
That's awesome.
It's worked really hard to get to it.
And you know how to work on them just a little bit.
Yeah.
I drove it to Jacksonville, and oh my God.
Yeah.
Get over there in
Just
like
to
5
get on
minutes.
the highway,
Yeah.
the response and the way the car acts on the highway is,
Yeah, it's
you
nice.
know, if you had an Autobahn, it'd be really fun to do.
Oh, yeah.
What's cool about those cars is they've tuned them nowadays to where if you just want to drive it like a grandma and put around in it, it's really smooth and it's nice and comfortable. It's got all the CarPlay, it's got all the technology in it that you could ever want.
Yeah.
But if you want to switch it into Sport Plus, then you can drive it like
Yeah. Like a race
like a race car.
That's pretty cool.
So it's
yeah,
just
it's
a
a little-
setting you can
Yeah,
change.
Right. Yeah, it changes
Changes
the exhaust, it changes the suspension, and then it adds a little more boost and all that.
It's got a little launch button
yeah.
on it if you want to really get nasty.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Does it really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't tried that yet.
Do you have it here? We can try it.
No, I brought the van.
Oh, that's right.
I love it.
Yeah, that's the other thing we have. We have that Volkswagen Buzz, the electric
Yeah.
Volkswagen. So that's what we use to take customers home.
Yeah.
It's our
They love that
courtesy
thing.
van.
They love
Yeah.
it. It's-
Yeah.
Volkswagen still make good cars.
Yeah.
They are.
For the most
I'm
part.
glad you said yes. My dad would have rolled over. It's great, right?
I know.
most
He
part.
always loved them. Of course, that's what he did. But
Yeah.
See, when your dad sewed, I didn't realize he had such health issues. So he wasn't around long after that. It was
no,
a year?
not even a year, probably. Yeah, he was a young man, 50.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's sad.
He had a good 50-year run, though.
I wasn't going to say anything.
He went after it hard for 50, let me tell you.
Hey, I was at the Christmas parties. I know.
Yes, you know, right? Yeah, he probably lived. He had more like 80 years on that 50-year-old
He
body.
made up for lost time.
Yes, he did.
Dog
for
years.
sure.
Yeah, that's great.
Dog, yeah, I love it. He's gotten to know the family quite well over the years with my brothers, and
I've heard the stories, and unfortunately, I never did get to meet him. But
he was a character.
yeah,
Dad and Dave always have spoken very highly of your dad. They always had good things to say about him, and they might have stuck around a lot longer over there at the dealership if he would have stuck around. But
different.
so things always work out. The way
Absolutely.
for a reason.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's really cool what you've. I mean, it's really cool what you've done.
Yeah.
And man, everybody in this community and anywhere around knows about Floyd Imports. That's for sure.
That's nice
which
to know.
speaks volumes.
Yeah.
About those are the two guys you don't mess with. As
Yeah.
they said. Those are you got a Porsche or an Audi you need work on. You say Audi or Audi? Because we used to always have that debate at our house, and I heard you say Audi.
I say Audi.
My dad always would say Audi, and we'd be like, "Are you
Audi.
sure?" Anyway,
It's generational.
Yeah.
that's it.
I talked to an Audi rep one time, and I said, Audi, and he looked at me and he goes, as a German man, he was like, it is Audi, not Audi.
Yeah, I love it. I love
And I
it.
was like, all right,
Okay.
well, I guess he told me.
That's great.
Well, great stuff. This has been fun.
Yeah.
I think one of the times we brought Janelle's car in or something, and you said you guys are listening to the podcast, and we said one of these days let's have those guys on. So
Great
thanks for
idea.
doing
Thanks
it.
for having us.
So, quick question for both of you guys. Well, it doesn't have to be quick necessarily, but we want to respect your time. We always ask people, I won't speak ages here, but a long and successful career, and working in the industry now since you were 16 years old, you've seen and learned a lot of things. If you were able to turn the clock back and give your younger self some advice based on your life experience, say turn the clock back 30 years, what piece of advice would you give your younger self?
It's funny you ask that because I got some friends of ours are getting ready to open up a business. And I said, the one thing I didn't do was every once in a while, just take a deep breath.
Yep.
Look around, look what you've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True, right?
Yeah.
You get so caught up in the day-to-day.
You don't start a business if you're not competitive.
Right.
And you're going to be successful. You want to be successful. So you don't think about just kind of looking back and thinking, man, look what I've done here.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is great advice.
So now,
for hard chargers, right? That
at least
just
once
keep
a week,
going.
I walk back in that shop and I look at that and I take a deep breath and I say, man, look at this place.
Pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
They took a big risk, leaving a good job and
we both had
going out and borrowing money from family to start the business, taking money out of their retirement, and not taking a paycheck for the first year, and building it from there. Cleaning up an old dirty gas station. Renting it from somebody. I mean, I remember going in there. I was 15 at the time, and we had to shampoo the dirty carpets and clean the bathroom up, and to get everything ready and clean the lot. And it was. It's come a long way, but we haven't tried not to forget where we've come from.
That's pretty cool.
And to answer your question, if I would go back and tell 16-year-old me to probably listen a little bit more, and get to work on time, because that was the biggest problem. I never got to work on time.
Can we put this podcast out today? Listen more and work on time.
I mean,
I've got a son that would say that. He's still working on it. He's 26.
Yeah, I mean, I was in trouble on the daily basis, and but we had back then everybody needed to ride.
Yeah.
It wasn't Uber, and a lot of people didn't have kids that had cars or extra cars in the family. So we were there. If they brought their car in, they needed me to be there at 7:30 to get them downtown to their state jobs.
Sure.
A lot of our customers were state workers.
Yeah.
And I was always late. So,
Yeah.
Dad was never happy with me about that.
I love it.
It's a tough.
But,
whenever you're working with your son.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's you got a fine line there where you
Yes.
you want to be able to go home at night and still not
That's right.
love each other.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
But
I have to
and
say
then
it's a
they get
lot
in-
easier on the grandson, though. I don't know what's going on now. The grandson's
It's a
there.
whole
I've
different
mellowed
deal.
over
Like,
the
mellowed,
years.
yeah.
oh, JoJo needs a day off. We got to give him the day off.
Oh yeah, yep. I remember those days around the kitchen
JoJo.
table.
Yeah.
My mom and dad always had a rule that because they worked together as well,
Sure.
and they would never talk about work at home
Yeah.
over the dinner table.
Right.
I mean that never.
Yeah.
I mean they talked about work 24 when they were awake. They were talking about Peerless. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And it was always about employee issues or whatever.
Sure.
So
But
yeah.
never at the dinner table.
Right.
Well-
but,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Do you, Brad? I'm thinking that Andy is where you were
Yep.
in my business.
Yes.
Because since he's become my partner, we've just everything's just kind of like it's changed.
Yes.
I can tell that him and Carrie have an effect on the business.
Yep.
They're getting us out there well, we need to talk about the buzz.
Yep.
Filling the van up on August 9th. We're going to do that for the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Carrie works that stuff and gets I think the next thing we're going to do is maybe do the Central Illinois Food Bank in the fall, and that's when they really need the
Sure.
food.
Yep.
Yeah.
So being a part of the community and
Yes.
and Carrie's gotten us back out there where we're doing that stuff. It's definitely helped our business
That's awesome.
a lot.
Cool.
Is Carrie your wife?
Yeah, Carrie's
Okay.
my
Yeah.
wife.
Cool.
Yep.
I love
Yep.
it.
Yeah, she's taken over a lot of the social media stuff and
Yeah.
putting out press releases, and it was all her idea to do. She's like, we need to do a Pack the Buzz. She's a big part of the community. She always has been. She's Carrie Bedford Photography is what she is here in town. So she does a lot of good things for people, and it was her idea, and she always comes up with these great ideas, and I was like, man, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And she's like, oh, I'll call my friend over there and we'll set it up.
Yeah.
And they brought a bunch of kids, a whole bus full of kids over last week or a couple weeks ago, and they were all in and out of the van, and were taking pictures and stuff like that.
That's
so
awesome.
So it's
they'll
gonna
all
be a
be
good
there
thing.
that morning,
Yeah.
August 9th too,
Okay.
to help pack the buzz and
Yep.
hopefully get they need 400 backpacks.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That is
Yeah.
a lot.
And it would suck to not be able to go to school
Right.
with the right amount of stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids out there.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Me and Dad and Dave and all of our guys, we work hard,
Yeah.
but we feel blessed, to be where we're at. So we want to kind of help people
Sure.
as much as we can too, and that's kind of what Dad and Dave's business was originally. It kind of was brought up as we want to help people. We don't want people to get screwed over, and we want to try to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what we're trying to continue.
That's great.
forward
Sometimes
with
we
the
take
family.
for
So,
granted how good we got it.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
right about that
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess we bored you guys.
No, not at all.
This is
no.
great.
Great
Yeah.
wisdom.
A lot of I was just about
Great
to say
wisdom.
a lot of great
Yeah.
advice for people.
Well,
in
and you got to be
business.
extremely proud of him
Yeah.
too.
Oh.
Just I can see
Pretty
the,
cool, isn't it?
Yeah, chip off
Yep.
the old block
Pretty cool.
for sure.
Yeah, he's lucky to be alive, but yeah.
Hey, once I
Sounds
made
like a good place to end.
it to 25,
Have it out in the parking lot.
No,
I've
no.
been cruising since 25.
He's my best
It was
friend.
rough
That's
for the first
awesome.
9 years, but I got it's
No,
been
I think it was more his mom was going to kill him than me.
yeah. That was before 16.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you guys for
yeah.
coming in.
Thank
today.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
good
guys.
stuff. Thanks
Cool.
a bunch. Great to
Yeah.
see you.